If you have been living under a rock, then newsflash everyone. Aquaman actress and Johnny Depp's ex-wife Amber Heard just lost to her ex-husband in their defamation case and is now entitled to pay more than 10 million US dollars. The last time we checked, Amber Heard's net worth was 8 million US dollars. Some reports estimate it to be as low as 2.5 million dollars, and there's still a debate about the real net worth of the actress. Needless to say, whether her net worth racks up to 8 million dollars or goes as low as 2.5 million, we all know she needs to gather all her savings and even more to be able to pay the 10 million dollars she now owes. But now, the question is, can Amber Heard pay the $10 million she owes, and if so, is she going broke? Even with the $2 million she was awarded from the court, Amber Heard still needs to pay all her money to what she owes. How can this affect her life and net worth? How will she be able to pay her team of lawyers? Is she going to file for bankruptcy? That's what we're going to find out and more in today's video. But before any of that, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and you smash that notification bell for more updates on this. Now, let's dive in. According to experts, a jury that found Amber Heard guilty of defaming ex-husband Johnny Depp has ordered her to pay $15 million in damages, putting the 36-year-old actress in financial jeopardy. Although Heard's net worth is vague, her work in television and films such as Aquaman and Aquaman 2 has made her millions. After their 2016 divorce, she received a $7 million settlement from Depp, which she committed to contribute to charities like the American Civil Liberties Union. Because of Depp's lawsuit, she indicated she hadn't yet fulfilled the vow throughout the trial. According to Newsweek, testimony throughout the trial showed that Heard's career had halted as a result of the court dispute with Depp. That may raise doubts about Heard's ability to pay the damages, which included $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, the latter of which was lower to the Virginia cap of $350,000 on such awards. Heard was also granted $2 million in the action by the jury. Elaine Bredehoft, Heard's attorney, informed the court that her client cannot afford to pay the $10.35 million judgment. "Oh no," said the host of the Today Show. "Certainly not." Heard plans to challenge the judgment, according to Bredehoft, who did not address Heard's financial alternatives in respect to the sentence. So yes, to say it simple, Amber Heard is indeed going broke. While Heard has the right to appeal the verdict, she may be compelled to post a bill for the whole $10.35 million judgment, plus interest, while the appeal is pending, according to attorney Sandra Spurgeon of Lexington Spurgeon Law Group. For an individual who doesn't have the ability to pay the judgment and no ability to post the bond, then there is a real issue if the winning party intends to execute the judgment, Spurgeon told CBS Money Watch. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Depp earned as much as $650 million over a 13-year period. Despite this, a former manager and agent testified throughout the trial that his lavish spending, such as $300,000 per month on full-time employees, has eroded his fortune over time. In a statement posted on Twitter on Wednesday, Heard expressed disappointment with the jury's decision but did not address the financial details of judgment. However, Amber Heard's lawyer said that she is unable to pay Johnny Depp the $10.4 million she owes him, citing sources who claim the actress is poor as a result of the bombshell defamation trial's high legal bills. The Aquaman star had to transfer legal representation, according to many reports, and is relying on her homeowner's insurance policy to fund the expense of her current attorneys in the lawsuit. According to insiders, the Travelers companies had paid the majority of Heard's attorney's cost under the provisions of the actress's insurance policy. But what happens if Amber Heard fails to pay the $10.35 million damages to Johnny Depp? Getting the judgment is one thing. As legal analyst Emily Barker says, getting the money is a whole separate thing. Baker states what could happen if Heard is unable to fulfill those payments. According to her, it will be up to the parties. But once the judgment is entered on June 24, I wonder if the attorneys will start negotiating that judgment payment. Ben Chu said in his closing argument that Johnny Depp wasn't seeking to punish Amber Heard with money. I imagine that they will try to settle it, and you'll see a PR statement that they are not seeking to enforce the judgment. She also added, if they do want to enforce the judgment, that starts a whole separate process in court of potentially attaching property, setting up ways it has to be paid. I imagine, and if I'm Team Depp, this is what I would do. They'd look at getting an injunction to stop Amber Heard from repeating statements that the jury found were defamatory, and then stipulating that the payments won't be made and there won't be any judgment outstanding. If he's not interested in the money, I think he's more interested in her not repeating these allegations. If Depp's side does follow through on pursuing the money, they can, according to Baker, attach property and try to attach her to any wages or any residuals coming in and start going after it through the court. But that is a separate process that starts once the judgment is entered, and it can be a very lengthy court process to enforce a judgment. Heard's previous charitable contributions are also still up in the air. The actress revealed in 2016 that she would be donating the entirety of her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, with half going to the American Civil Liberties Union and the other half to Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Depp has yet to meet those obligations, which were supposed to be paid in annual installments. As Depp's team demonstrated in court, Heard stated in her testimony that she still expects to complete the gifts. Following the highly publicized trial, Heard has the following options. First, appeal the judgment. As previously said, Heard may file an appeal in the hopes of obtaining a more favorable decision and a lower amount, according to Brian Pastor, an Atlanta attorney who specializes in litigation and securities and has expertise dealing with judgments. If she chooses to stop the execution of the $10.35 million judgment, she will almost certainly be forced to post a bail. Heard might alternatively choose not to post a bail, but he cautioned that this would allow Depp to carry out the judgment. Second, if she doesn't have enough money, wages can be garnished. According to legal experts, if Heard decides not to appeal but does not have enough money to pay the judgment, her existing and future salary could be taken. Pastor speculated that Depp would go after more than just her pay. He may also extort money from her by seizing her home, jewels, and other valuables, while some assets, such as retirement savings, would be safeguarded. If he were advising Heard, Pastor noted, I would say maximize everything in a retirement account immediately. Third, she could file for bankruptcy. Heard can also file for bankruptcy, although Pastor cautioned that she might not be able to discharge the $10.35 million debt through bankruptcy. This is due to provision in bankruptcy law that exempts debts arising from the debtor's willful and intentional injury to another person. Depp, on the other hand, would have to object to her attempt to discharge the obligation through bankruptcy. Using this section of the law, Pastor explained, in such a case, it's probable that he will decide not to object. However, legal analyst Emily Baker explains, filing for bankruptcy wouldn't necessarily help Heard with the damages payment, as she said that the case is an intentional tort, defamation, and when it's against a public figure, that willfulness element, that malice element, takes it right out of the ability to be discharged in bankruptcy. She continued. Lastly, Depp could decide to waive the judgment. Depp may also choose not to carry out the judgment, effectively relinquishing the monetary damages. If Heard files an appeal, as she is rumored to be planning, that may be a negotiating point for a smaller payout or to abandon the case entirely, Pastor said. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.